Hey guys, Jason Samkoviak here, the Traditional Bow Hunting and Wilderness Podcast. I wanted to take a second and show you the power of peroxide when it comes to blood trailing. Now this is regular store-bought, just simple regular store-bought peroxide that you get right at Walmart or any of that kind of stuff. It's really cheap. I think that bottle was like $1 or $1.50. And then what I do is I just put it in a spray bottle and I leave this in my truck, and then that way I have it. But if you blood trail through swamps or through grassy fields, anything that's going to be a very tricky kind of a blood trail type situation, this peroxide comes in incredibly handy. Any blood that this peroxide comes in contact with, the blood will turn pure white and bubble up and froth, get real frothy. So it makes it stand out really well. Again, especially in dark, swampy kind of black mud and things like that. And then the absolute worst thing to track in for me personally is grassy fields, because the blades of grass are so thin, and trying to identify the blood as it goes through that thin grass or CRP fields, things like that, it's really difficult, where the peroxide makes that whole blood trail just stand up. And it's again very cheap, and it's a spray bottle of it goes a long way. And I'm going to take you out now and I'm going to show you a couple examples of how to use this and how it works. One of them is going to be in the grass. And what I did is I killed a doe this morning, so I got some blood. I saved some of her blood in a 20-ounce pop bottle so that I could pour some out and use it for some examples and some of these demonstrations I wanted to do. Well, I poured some in the grass in that same kind of scenario, so I'll show you. Now, I don't have any black mud type swamps or dark things like that, but I figured what I do, the back of my truck, my bed liner is black, and it is blood back there, and I'm going to show you how it works on there, because it's pretty much the same scenario as a black mud swamp. So I'll show you. So let's go outside so I can show you how this works. Okay. This is the back of my truck, and it's after I just got done bringing a doe home this morning, and I want to show you, because this is a good example of like swamp mud, that black dirt that when you're in the swamps that you end up blood trailing in sometimes. I'm going to show you the power of this peroxide and what it can do for you. So if you look here, you can see this blood, and you can barely see it through there in the middle, but it kind of shows you. But you see how well that red blends in with that black, just like it would if it was mud out there. When that trail gets tricky and you end up losing it, watch what this peroxide does. This is just peroxide in a spray bottle. Watch the difference here. Watch. Now look at what it did to that blood. Notice everywhere around it doesn't make a difference, but look at what it did to that blood. Turned it to pure white, made it bubble up so that it's extremely easy to see. Now you can find that blood trail real easy. So you went from something that was dark red on black that you couldn't see to pure white on there. It works like a champ. Awesome tool to have in your arsenal. Here's another example, a different part. This one's in the sun, not in the shade. You can see there, it's just pure black. Now watch again, peroxide in a spray bottle, a regular store-bought peroxide. Watch what happens when I spray this. Look at where all that blood is. You can see that blood bubble right up. Awesome, awesome tool. Now here's another scenario where blood trailing gets really hard, is grasses. When the blood gets into the grass, the blades on the grass are so fine that it's hard for them to actually hold a drop like a leaf does, or something like that, where you can actually identify the drop. So trying to blood trail through grass is absolutely one of the hardest. Here's an example here too. You can see that you can barely see that little bit of blood. Watch when I spray it with the peroxide. Turns to pure white. See that? You can see it really good then. It just whitens it right up and makes it stand out a lot better and glow real easy anywhere that there's blood. There's more of it right there. I must have spilled a little extra there, but you can see it. Like I said, it makes it bubble up and get nice and frothy, and turns it to pure white so that it's easy to identify anywhere the blood touched. Okay, for this last example with the peroxide, I'm going to show you something kind of crazy. This is dried blood here on the back of my pickup truck, right on the tailgate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this leaf that has nothing on it, no blood, no anything. All I'm going to do is just take this and I'm going to rub it right on here, right on that blood for a second like that. As you can see, it's not actually, there is no blood on that leaf. You can see that it's just basically kind of just ground it down a little bit like that. Now I'm going to take this leaf, I'm going to set it over here somewhere where it's in the shade. You can see it good, right here like this. Now I'm going to spray that with peroxide. But before I do, look at that. No blood, understandable blood on there whatsoever. Now I'm going to take that peroxide here, and I'm going to squirt it, and look at that. Isn't that just crazy? Look at that, how well that works here. I'm going to hold it by the ground here where you can see it better too. Look at how well that stands out and how easy that is to find. So peroxide, awesome tool for blood trailing, especially when you lose the blood, even in pine needles like this type of a scenario, tall grasses, dark mud swamps, anytime, or even after rain is gone too, because that residue is left. And if you lose a blood trail in the rain, once everything dries out again, that peroxide will actually pull that out just like it did here on that leaf. So awesome, awesome tool. Another great thing about peroxide too is you can actually actually use it to clean your hands, to clean your knives off when you're done field dressing. Peroxide removes blood better than anything does, and it's an awesome multifunctional tool. Definitely should have some in your arsenal for animal recovery. Again, this is Jason with the Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast, and thanks for watching. We'll be back with more soon. Thanks. Bye.